Welcome to video 4, and in this video we're going to be talking about a way to communicate between the Arduino board and your computer that you're using to program the Arduino. This is one of the amazing things about the Arduino, is how simple it makes it to get information from the outside world back into your computer. And this particular way we're going to communicate today is called serial communication. It's sort of fundamental to a lot of these microcontroller Arduino projects. So to start this serial communication, we need to set it up here in void setup by saying serial.begin, and you see those both turned orange when I typed them incorrectly. We also need to tell it what speed we're communicating at. This is sort of just a technical detail, and for the most part you won't need to worry about it when you start programming with the Arduino, and you'll just type 9600 in here. It's sort of the default we'll be using for now. So we got serial begin 9600, which tells the Arduino we want to communicate with the computer using serial. And then down here we need one more command, which we're going to say serial.println, which means print a line. We could just do print, which would kind of stack things on top of each other, but typically when I want information from the serial monitor, I do print line so that it comes out in individual lines. And we're going to tell it to print the number 10 out. Now we also don't want this to print incredibly quickly, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a delay in there of 500 milliseconds or half a second. And let's upload this to our Arduino board, and then we'll take a look at the result that we get. Right, so that's done uploading, and I'm going to click up here on the serial monitor, and that'll bring up this window. So we got kind of some nonsense there at first, but after that you see it's printing out 10 consistently, so that's exactly what we thought was going to happen. So I have a brief little quiz for you. What would happen if we were to put the serial println up here in void setup? I'll give you a couple seconds to think about it. You can pause the video if you want. But if we were to do that, let's just take it here, we're going to copy it, and we'll paste it up here, and we'll delete this down in our loop code. And so now when we upload this, what you'll see is that it's actually only going to run once. So we'll see our 10, and then we won't see anything after that. So void loop will just sit down here doing nothing forever. Serial monitor, and there's our 10. So you can also use the serial monitor to print out what are called strings of characters, and what you and I would just call phrases, to the serial monitor. So instead of printing out 10 here, let's print out hello world. So to do this, we need to put a set of quotes in here. Then we go inside and we go hello world, and we'll upload this code again. In case you don't know, printing hello world is kind of like the most basic computer programming thing you can do, so it's sort of the stereotypical first assignment you get in a computer programming class. Let's check out the serial monitor and hello world. So that's another way you can print some information out. And I use the serial monitor frequently to get information out of the code, because with the Arduino you can't really tell what's going on in there. The only way you can know what your program's doing is to provide some output that you can see. Now you could use maybe the LED that we saw from the first lesson, but one of the easiest ways is to just use the serial monitor, and that'll let you print out values or sentences like this. So now I have another quiz for you here, and this one hopefully won't take you too long, but I want you to modify the blink code that we have here to print out 5 volts right after we do digital write high, and to print out 0 volts after we do digital write low. So you'll need to make some modifications to setup and void loop, but again, it should print out 5 volts, the words 5 volts after digital write, and then 0 volts after digital write low down here. Alright, so here's my solution to this problem. Up here under void setup, we initialize our serial by writing serial.begin 9600, and then below this digital write line here, I wrote serial.println to print the line 5 volts. And below the other digital write line, I wrote serial.println 0 volts. So let's upload this to the Arduino board, and we will take a look at the serial monitor and make sure that this is printing out what we wanted. and serial monitor. So we get 5 volts, 0 volts, 5 volts, 0 volts. And if you look at your Arduino board, it should be 0 volts when the little light there is off and 5 volts when the light is on. So hopefully you were able to figure that out, and I'll see you in the next video.